everybody, scrapping in my own private Idaho, and today I am looking at Title Tuesday, and I'm also catching up with Chrissy's Beautiful Life, and I'm actually going to share two layouts today from two of the different sketches in an effort to catch up because there'll be series 20 starting in March, and I want to be ready. So this sketch, I'm going to show you the sketch. This is a sketch. I'm sorry, my printer is not working great, but you can see, or maybe you can't see, it has, they had a large, where it would have been paper. So I took the large piece of paper and I made a large print out of it because I love this picture of the whole family. It was actually taken, so this is two different 4th of Julys, but this is the first official calendar I think I've made for Maggie, so I decided I would put that down there. So anyway, so then they had two small pictures, so I did that. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if that picture, nope, it's gonna, so you can see that they have pictures off the side, and I have a small blue little heart that goes there that looks so much better. It's kind of funny how that would really make a difference, but it does. So this is, I made a bunch of mixed media pages where I splattered paint, so I decided that was going to be my base. And for my mat, normally I gut, and actually the next layout I'll show you that I gutted. This is not actually gutted. It actually, I mitered, so I was talking with my friend Nettie, and I love, even when I was a quilter, I love to put dark binding on a quilt, especially if there's a light quilt. Then I'm going to use a darker binding because I think it draws the eye to it. But when you do that with paper, it tends to make the album very heavy, and it also uses a lot of paper. So I don't know if you can see it or not, but I mitered the corners. So these are actually, I got into my scrap bin, which this is sapphire, and I have a lot of scraps of sapphire, and I just mitered the corners so that I could have that look of having a dark color on the outside. This is my title. It is from a PML card that I made into a tag, and this is also a PML card that I matted. When you get low on paper, you start looking at your PML cards and also looking at pattern paper to use as cardstock so everything will match. So that is this layout, and the sketch, I will post a still picture of the sketch on my Facebook page, Scrapbooking with Joy. So if you wanted to see a better picture of that sketch, normally I have I print it off, but sometimes my printer, I think it's around 4 or 5 o'clock, which is a lot of times when I film. I don't know if people are coming home and they're all on the internet, but anyway, sometimes my computer does not want to talk to my printer, so I couldn't print that off. So anyway, but this one is by Gloria Montross, and she usually has a sketch in Chrissy's Beautiful Life, and I am so grateful for all the people who spend the time to create these beautiful sketches for us to use. I stayed pretty close to it, except for the very large picture in the middle, and I just think, you know, when you have a printer that works great and you can make pictures, why not make them large? Why not use them as paper? So that is the first one. So my Title Tuesday, and on Title Tuesday what I do is I share my Cricut file with whatever I make. I share my Cricut file. And so this is for our calendar, and this is, of course, my Happy New Year's calendar. This title was made by Nancy Phan. It had a lot of extra things on it, and I opted to not include those. And I do have a large piece that I've left in the other room, but when you come on and see it, you'll see a large piece right up there, and I got that from Hobby Lobby, and I just stuck it on there. This is Such Fun Paper. It is a retired Stampin' Up paper, and I am a Stampin' Up independent distributor. I'm supposed to say that. This was a fun paper pack that is retired, and it was called Broadway Bound, and this is specialty paper. and you can see that I gutted it. So this is two ways of getting that dark background paper that I really like the look of that. So you can miter it if you don't have extra. Sometimes I will get the paper like this, and then I will use it in picture frames, but instead of using a picture frame, I used something else. So when I get it, I'm going to put it like this, and I put it close around because so when you gut it, and then your paper, of course, going on it is this is not a two-page page. A lot of times I will do a two-pager, but normally I do a two-pager. But this is the opening of the album. So I'm going to put it right here. And so I cut my base page, which is this page, and because it is retired, and a lot of times you don't have the cardstock to go with retired, so when I'm using up my retired paper, what I like to do is I like to go in and I like to use the DSP out of the pack, and it kind of is acting as cardstock for me. Okay, so, and I'm going to include the dimensions. Let me see if I can find. This was such a fun layout, and it is really fantastic for, you can see it's great for strips. So I did exactly what she did. I did change things around, and like I said, if you want to see the still shots of this, you can go to Christy's Beautiful Life and look up day 18, or you can, I have still shots of it on my Facebook group, which is Joy Ani Scrapping in My Own Private Idaho. I followed very closely to it. They had it going down, so I like to use larger pictures because it doesn't cost me any more money to print a larger picture than it does a small picture now that I'm printing it myself. And so I did, she has it coming down this way, which gave me the idea of the what do you call these? It will come to me when I no longer care. Okay, so then so this Broadway paper, you might have some of this in your stash. I used it last year for New Year's paper. It just kind of reminds me of, so how I store this paper is I put it on New Year's paper. So you might look in your stash and see if you have it. It has some kind of interesting, it was a birthday pack, I guess, but those are not things that I probably would use. And so, but I am going to talk a little bit about this paper in a little bit. So let's go ahead and put our strips down. So these are, this one is 1 inch by 10 inches, and I'm going to have it like a ½ an inch down. I started, because I made my titles so large, I had to move everything up. So hers is a little bit farther down. And the other reason I wanted to use move everything up is I am using this interactive element. And you can slit your paper, but if it's up high enough, you could definitely just reach in and pull it up and down. And what I thought would be fun is if you wanted to, you could print, you could put on a plain background, you could stamp Happy New Year, you could put a picture of someone so that when you remove this 3210, it could have something at the bottom. I didn't do that because I'm giving it as a calendar, and it's very hard to do those type of things if you are giving the album away. So here I go. And so I'm putting it down. So it is going to be a ½ an inch in. Ooh, and half an inch in, and I don't have my ruler, so I'm really being brave today. ½ an inch in, ½ an inch down, and then it kind of goes off like this way. I'm going to have a ½ an inch between. These are not touching. It's not touching on her her layout, and it's not touching on mine. And actually, anytime there's a square, I love, this is just a tiny, very subtle check, but it helps me line things up because any of those types of prints have directional things for you, and that makes me so happy because seriously, I have a problem lining things up to be straight. So it's going to be right across here at the tippy top. Okay, so hers had the same, like hers had this kind of thing going on, but I need my interactive element. Let me show you how I did that. So on the Cricut file, so the Cricut file that I'm sharing with today has this, and it has this mechanism. It doesn't have the numbers because you are using your paper and you are cutting out the numbers. So I had to alter this film strip. This is a little bit shorter. The one I have in the file, you could actually put down here. It had a goo spot, so I just put, I think it has 5, and I didn't want to recut it because I was being lazy that day. And so, anyway, so I cut out the letters, numbers, and so this is one of the pieces that you have. So you have a 1-inch Cricut, you have a rectangle, and then you have this. I put white to cover up the spots, and then I put foam tape. I put foam tape at the bottom because if I didn't put the foam tape at the bottom, when you go to put this interactive piece down, it would fall through. I'm going to put this on last because with when you have tape, you can kind of move things around. Once this is down with foam tape, once you put foam tape down, it is down. There is no going back. So that is going to be the last thing that I attach. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to put that right here. And I'm going to kind of set up the next things just to see if I like the direction that I'm going. This seems really short. I might have to see, I've already forgotten what I did. Okay, so this is going to go, excuse me, this is going to go like this, and like this. This is going to go like this. Excuse me, tickle in my throat. And then this is like this. So in hers, you could put it down like this. Like this is how the, I kind of do like that. This is how hers went. I kind of like that. I'm gonna change my mind right here on screen. I'll do that and that. See if we have that square look. And I'm cheating a little because see how this isn't long enough? But I'm feeling brave because that goes like this. So see how it's at the bottom? And I'm going to move this down. So you decide, do you want everything? I like things to be touchy-touchy, so I will probably put it that way. You could, if you wanted to, you could place this on top, pop it up on top. I might do that. I might pop it on top, and then that way everything's touching. I do like that. Let's go that way. Okay, so let's glue everything down. So I've kind of lost my, oops, good. That one's down. This one's down at 2 1/4. I don't do things really, really harsh on, take things down super well when I'm doing these on film, because if I change my mind, it is heartbreaking. Okay, that's that way. And then this, a doily. That's what this is. I couldn't think of what it's called. A doily. And so this was from the Hope and Kindness. There was a huge doily set with Close to My Heart before they went under. Stampin' Up! Has, and the new one, they have red doilies. And to be quite honest, I would much rather buy the doilies than to cut them out. I do not like to cut them out on a Cricut because you get all the small things. And a Sizzix is the next thing up to, you know, if you have a die cut, that's my next preference for doilies because I love the way they look on a page. I mean, they're so beautiful. They kind of come and go in popularity. I guess that's what they call it. Yeah, so I'm going to put this right here. So now is the brave part where I'm going to actually put this down. Okay, so I had to make a decision. Is it going to touch? Yes, it's going to touch. I want it to touch the bottom. So I'm putting it right at 9. I'm going to tear it off. Ooh, this is so scary because I know that this is where I could totally destroy my layout by doing it wrong. And I do so love, if you wanted to, you can make these larger. just by unhooking, there's a reading that says, okay, I'm going to line that up with my little cross signals. Okay, we're committed. If you wanted to, you could put pictures down here. You could put pictures in here, and then you could slide this up and down, and then that would cover up your pictures. They'd be pretty small, but you can adjust your film strip. So if you have a Cricut and you adjust the film strip, just make them, you can adjust the size of it. So anyway, so this is this right here. So I will be sharing this on my Cricut. Oh, see, I got down a little bit too far. I might trim a little bit because now I'm, okay, I'm a little, oh, no, I'm not, because that's black. That's black. I'm still good. So I'm just going to put it right here. No, I like it to cover the end just because it looks very unfinished. And that's where I'm going to put this. I'm going to pop that up. I hope you will like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed today. And I do have like a little crystal ball that I found at Hobby Lobby for 50 cents. That would probably go right there. I don't seem to have it with me. I thought I brought it in, and I didn't. But anyway, so I hope you will like and subscribe. I hope you will have it. Oh, look what I found. See, this is the big thing. This is what I'm talking about. It's kind of large, and I'm definitely not going to put, see how cute that is on top of there? But if I put it right there, you're not going to be able to pull. I'm going to have to rethink this. See? See, I won't be able to pull my tab. Actually, I'm going to give up the interactiveness, although I did all that work. I will probably put mine right there because I like the way that it looks, 3, 2, 1, like that. So, and it is really sticking up there. So do I add the crystal ball or do I not? I could have, ooh, oh no, it just tore a hole, so I'm going to have to replace that paper. Yeah, so to add or not to add? Comment below, and we'll see. We'll see what makes it. But I'm definitely going to make it so that it's not quite that heavy. Maybe I can make it smaller so that you can still get the enacted in. But that was less than $1, so I thought I'm going to grab that. Thank you so much for watching. We will chat with you later. Bye.